My search for the perfect next bike has taken my mind far and wide in motorcycle considerations. Maybe a sports tourer could be great for my next bike, like the Kawasaki 1000 SX for instance. Smooth, torquey power, nice weather protection, all the bells and whistles, and very conservatively priced at $19,573 Australian. Or a timeless classic naked like the Z900 RS, or Triumph T100, or Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, or maybe even Yamaha's gorgeous XSR 900, attractive at least to my eye, or maybe I should get a Harley Sportster S and turn it into a cafe racer, or maybe I should go the trike route and pick up a Harley Tri-Glide Ultra and take the missus touring all over this great wide land. Although with the cost of entry starting at 62,500 Aussie dollars, this option seems so far out of reach to me right now. Or maybe I should pick up that Indian Scout Bobber that I so much enjoyed riding on that test ride. Or maybe I should wait for the next generation Honda Hornet 750 naked. Or would I be better off on the NT1100? Or maybe the Indian Springfield is the way to go for long, comfy days in the saddle. Believe it or not, these are all bikes I've had on my radar, battling it out for the title of my next bike. As regular viewers know, I've thought about this a lot, covering a heap of bikes, which is heavier, which is faster, which is most comfortable, and on a day of long reflection recently, it dawned on me. All my life I've been searching for the wrong thing, the perfect motorcycle. I've come to the realization this doesn't exist and never will. This is the lesson I've learned from 35 years of buying, riding and owning all types of motorcycles. From sports bikes to baggers, I've owned them all. Armed with this new sober mindset, I started really thinking about what was most important to me. What was I looking for in a motorcycle? Did I want practicality? Did I want comfort? Did I want performance? Do I prefer riding more on-road than off, or vice versa? And I came to the conclusion that I was mainly searching for just two things: fun and excitement. Lately, I've found myself riding less and less. On a sunny day, for instance, I no longer feel the urge to jump on my bike and just go for a ride, like I always used to. Why is this happening? Am I getting too old? Am I no longer into riding? Deep down, I knew what the problem was. It's not me, it's my bike. As wonderful as the NC750X is, it's not a bike you want to spend hours polishing and cleaning. It's not a bike you want to tinker with and mod. It's just a plain old, practical, useful, valuable means of transport. It's the common sense bike, a perfect all-rounder, very easy to ride, agile around town, sits well on the highway, tackles dry gravel roads with ease, and to top it all off, features super functional storage capacity. Being able to ride somewhere, take your backpack out of the trunk and then lock your helmet and gloves in there is simply brilliant in my opinion. The NC750X is awesome on fuel, has a punchy, torquey engine that effortlessly drives you out of corners, and the bike is super easy to service and maintain. Sounds like the dream bike, right? But it's not. There's no such thing as the perfect motorcycle. The NC750X is one of the best and most practical bikes I've owned, but when I test rode the Indian Chief, I suddenly recalled what drew me to motorcycling in the first place all those years ago. It's about the way a bike looks. It's about the way a bike rides. It's about the way a bike makes you feel. It's about having that smile plastered all over your face. I was literally 5 minutes into the test ride of the Indian Chief when I felt an unconscious grin resting on my face. I didn't realise it was there until I started speaking. Then I could hear it in my voice. This bike is what I had been missing. This bike is what I once again needed in my life. As my test ride wore on, I kept thinking of how comfortable the seat was, how nicely the suspension rode, how good the bike looked, how great the bike sounded, the monumental drive the engine had when gently twisting the throttle, and most importantly, how this bike made me feel. I now wanted to attack corners. I wanted to cruise the main strip. I wanted to munch highway miles. I once again wanted to take this bike out exploring the highways and byways of this great land. But most of all, I wanted to ride. The Indian Chief was the perfect platform for me, and I had to have one. But which one? And this is where my practical head kicked in and I started thinking the Super Chief Limited was probably going to be the best for me. Large screen for wind protection, floorboards, bags for storage and swept back handlebars. Another option of course was the Chief Bobber Dark Horse. Mini ape handlebars, forward controls for more comfort, shrouded suspension and wire wheels. But if I bought the Bobber, I know I'd want to add a screen and bags of some kind. So that was it. The Super Chief Limited was the one for me. It made the most sense. I got back to the Indian Ballarat dealership and was discussing my purchase options with the sales manager Mark and the availability of the Super Chief Limited when I saw they had one up the back that I could sit on. And after sitting on the Super Chief Limited for a few minutes, getting the feel of the bike, I thought, this is not it. I went straight back to the demo Indian Chief I'd test rode and hopped back on. This was the bike I wanted. This was the one. I went home to cool my heels overnight, went to the Indian Motorcycle website, spec'd up the Indian Chief Dark Horse, looked at the colours and options and settled on this configuration. Indian Chief Dark Horse in quartz grey. I'm not into matte paint jobs and this colour is superb, at least to my eye. Goes perfectly with the blacked out components, but I did want some chrome. The demo Chief I rode had some chrome Stage 1 slip-ons and I really liked those. For me, there's almost too much black on the Chief Dark Horse. I wanted to break it up a bit. So I've also gone for the chrome Stage 1 slip-ons. I can't show them here, but they look like this. A 17.8 inch quick release screen in black to take the wind pressure off my chest and give me some weather protection. I'll be picking this bike up in June and we'll be coming into winter then. I will design and 3D print my own smaller fly screen for riding in warmer parts of the year. That'll be fun. And I've also gone for the chrome locking fuel cap, just to add another practical touch of chrome. For a bit of storage, I'm going to buy a Krieger US20 dry bag and strap it to the rear guard. That'll do for me. So that's it. This is the bike I've bought and ordered. This is what it's going to look like. I think it looks great and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But like I said, there is a waiting list and I'll probably not say it till June. There are a few other reasons why I prefer the base Chief to the Bobber or Limited. Number one being weight. The Chief is the lightest at 304 kilograms. The Bobber weighs in at 315 kilograms and the Super Chief Limited weighs in at 335 kilograms wet. The Chief Dark Horse is going to have the best performance to weight ratio of the three. Number two is wheels. Although I do like wire wheels, in this instance I prefer the look of the Chief alloy wheels, not to mention the day-to-day practicality of cleaning alloys over spokes and the added benefit of the alloy wheels being tubeless for easier roadside repairs. And number three is the paint and colour options. I much prefer gloss paint to matte and I love that quartz grey colour. It's hard to find good pictures of this colour online, but from the research I've done on other Indian models wearing this paint, this representation here in the configurator looks pretty accurate. The Chief Bobber Dark Horse colours are all matte here in Oz, and we don't see gloss paint again until you move up to the Super Chief Limited. Well, that's it. Now you know why I'm buying the Indian Chief. My next step is to sell my NC750X and a few other bits and pieces to try and raise some money to buy this thing. Having to wait a few months is really going to help me out here. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye for now.